Hello, you're watching Sound Workshop. We're on a mission to make music instruments and to teach you how to make your own. Recently, we got this in. This is a very early prototype of our drone synth Quord. So I want to start making Patch of the Week videos and build up anticipation for shipping these, hopefully in December. Nothing here is final. I expect things to change, but it's ready for me to start talking about it. So this patch I call the bell, and I want to teach you how to make it. Let's get started. So Quord is a harmony exploration machine, and it's just a very tactile interface for a lot of familiar synthesizer parts. You have 4 oscillators here and a 4-channel mixer to mix the oscillators. The pitch of the oscillators are smoothly adjusted with these sliders. And then you are encouraged to just slide the sliders and find pleasant musical intervals by ear instead of by letter. So you have 4 oscillators, 4-channel mixer, and all the knobs here are for shaping the sound. So you have the yellow section is a low-pass filter. The blue section, which is new for this version, is an LFO, or a low-frequency oscillator, which is basically something that wiggles the filter knob for you. Finally, you have a distortion to glue everything together, and the final output volume. So for this bell patch, we'll start by making a pleasant sounding drone. And again, I just do that all by ear, so I'll bring up oscillator 1. Bring in oscillator 2. So that sounds nice. By the way, when you're making a chord, I recommend 2 things. The first is to bring in the notes one at a time, and then the second is whatever note you're currently tuning, use the mixer to make it the loudest in the mix. So I have a little drone here going. Let's have a listen. You can kind of give yourself a pop quiz by using the mixer to bring in the notes one at a time and try to figure out what chord you actually made. Boom, bum, bum, bum. I'll leave that to you to guess what it is. But it's very majory, would you say? Cool, so this filter has a feature called resonance, which means, or I should say that it's a low-pass filter. So what it does is it cuts away high frequencies and passes low frequencies, and this knob changes the boundary between cutting and passing. So right now it's pretty closed, which leads to a dark sound, and as you open it, it passes more and more frequencies, going higher and higher, which we say is brighter. It also gets louder in the process, so I'm trying to compensate with the volume knob. So filter resonance, I like to think of it as like emphasis on the filter, or if you imagine the filter like a throat, it makes the filter sound more throaty. And what the resonance does is it takes the frequency at the boundary between passing and cutting and it accentuates it. And it allows you, if you think of this drone as a bunch of different frequencies all mixed together, they're mixed so tightly that it's hard to perceive individual frequencies, And with the filter resonance, it's like a magnifying lens, and you can listen to one frequency at a time. So next step in this patch is to crank the resonance. Now we'll turn the filter and we'll listen to frequencies one at a time. So now the next step is to turn up the resonance and find a particular frequency that is very resonant and agitates the filter very strongly. So this is definitely a candidate. So that one was pretty strong. So the way you make the bell is you find this frequency that is very resonant, then you take the filter and you put it just underneath this resonant frequency so that the resonance goes quiet again. Then you use the LFO set to a sawtooth wave to bump the filter very quickly up into that resonance, and then the filter will decay away from it and go quiet again. And every time it bumps up into the resonance, it sounds kind of like a bell going off. So there's that resonant frequency I described. Now we'll go just underneath. So now it's mostly quiet, and I'll turn on the LFO to bump up into that loud frequency. This one isn't working. Let me try something else. There we go. So that's kind of bell sounding. Now you can dial it in by playing with the mixer and playing with the pitches of the drone. So that's the bell patch on Quord. I hope you stick around, subscribe here to be in the loop when it's ready to sell, hopefully in December. And if you want to support the company, Sound Workshop, please check out our Patreon page so that we can continue making instruments long into the future. And I'll see you next week. I'll say bye for now and play you out for a few minutes. Thanks for watching.